Hello, I'm Ajahn Jyotipalo, and I am back at Birkin. The Sierra trip is over. I mean, it's not over here. It's probably going to be there for the rest of my life. It was really an incredible experience, and so first and foremost, I'd like to thank Ajahn Sona for really encouraging me to do that and to really helping set that into motion. There have been quite a few people who made financial contributions, and I don't want to kind of leave anybody out. So everybody who did that, I really appreciate that. 4 people uh, really helped out with getting me down to California and then looking after me while I was there. So that was my friend John, Lee, Larry, and Blake. So to the 4 of you, I thank you. That was really quite critical and important. So as I've been back for a while, and even before I left, I've been contemplating, what were some of the insights gained? What were some of the things that stood out for me about the trip? And I think over the next week, as I'm out here sauntering, when things come to my mind, I'll maybe just jot them down or just do a really quick video. And then if I get enough, I'll kind of just string them together. One of the concerns I had before going down to the Sierras was that my ankle may not be able to withstand the rigors of backpacking. So it was a very pleasant surprise that the ankle didn't actually have any problems at all. So I did physical therapy for a year, pretty rigorously, and didn't do every single day, but did it enough that the ankle was not a problem. Cody, as a thank you for all your physical therapy and helping me get, I don't know, say some physical exercises to get shape for the Sierra project, I have a gift for you. You earned the Birkin Merit Badge.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn. Appreciate it very much.
What's it look like? I was really kind of concerned about inviting someone like Blake to come down for 6 weeks to, take time out of his life. And then, what happened if, day 2 of the first trip, the ankle had given out and I wasn't able to hike? That just, I was, just concerned that that was going to be an issue. So the original idea for going down to the Sierras was to do a backpacking trip with a Catholic monk friend of mine. And that didn't work out for various reasons. I'm actually kind of glad it didn't because it was a little bit harder than what I was imagining. Before heading off to California, when I was here this winter, I started spending a lot more time outside meditating. And I found that really worked well because I would go out, maybe hike for an hour and then sit for a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and then hike a little bit more. And I originally had the idea that that's might be how the backpacking trips would happen down the Sierra, but it ended up being like, we'd start off hiking pretty early in the morning and not get to where we wanted to till kind of mid-afternoon. And then we found it was a lot harder to find campsites than I kind of was expecting. We had pretty demanding criteria for our campsites. So it usually took about an hour to find something. And then once you found it, it would take another 45 minutes, almost an hour to really get set up. And I just found that with the amount of hiking we were doing and the elevation gain and the weight of the pack, I just didn't really have the energy that I had when I was here, just doing day hikes, just carrying a really light backpack. And so I'm finding that the sauntering that I do here at Birkin is much more conducive to my meditation. So that was good to know. The last hike I did in the Sierras, the snow was still melting and wildflowers were in full bloom. Get back to Birkin, British Columbia. Not surprising, Canada is already showing the first signs of autumn. One of the things I discovered that I liked about backpacking was that it continually showed you the truth of impermanence. And I was attacked by chiggers. Fortunately, antihistamines have not made it itch, but hopefully this will go away. There was not a single day went by where things actually unfolded how we thought they were going to. The very first hike we did, got to the very first water crossing to get water, and our water filters were broken. So what are you gonna do? Jeffrey saved our trip. We got to our first creek crossing to get water, and both of my water filters were dead. And I was asking Jeffrey for suggestions, and he said, wait a minute, I'm heading out.
I'm almost done.
If you just mail this to me when you're done, he is loaning us his water filter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So we made a nice trade.
Yeah.
I got a mindfulness reminder and a blessing in return. So I'd say I came out ahead, to be honest.
I think we're even on that. Yeah. Just every single day, something like that happened. Our tents were what's called non-freestanding, so you had to stake them into the ground. And there were a couple places we got to where the ground was hard as concrete, so we had to improvise. And I think that's one of the things I liked about it, kind of the challenge and the troubleshooting. Like, so every single day you actually had to, be inventive, you had to use your mind, you had to look around and discover, how to make things work. Something might break. You get to the start of the trailhead and there would be no parking spots. So what are you going to do? Yeah, just that continual having to improvise and troubleshoot and be creative, I found actually quite satisfying. My favorite backpacking trip was when we went to the John Muir Wilderness area and went up to Matlock Lake. So this is our destination, Matlock Lake, and we're going to look over here for a campsite. I think we had intended to go actually hike quite a bit further, but when we got to that lake, it was just so beautiful. We set up a base camp and stayed there the whole time. And so that really worked for using backpacking as meditation, but we didn't actually go very far. And then we attempted that a few times at the end, and one was out to Dewey Point. That actually worked quite well. Just enjoying nature and having a lot of time to meditate. Also, at the beginning of the trip, the first 2 weeks that I was there, various people that were looking after me, Lee and Larry, would often drive me into the town of Mariposa, which is where we were staying. And I would take the bus into the park and just going for day walks in the valley. And that really worked for me as well. Watch out for the bear. Hey, bear. Right around the corner here.
On this big rock?
Yeah, he's behind that, underneath that tree.
Hey Joe, thanks for warning us about the bear. It was a good one. It was a perfect sighting, man.
Yeah.
It looks good, and I appreciate the warning.
Rudy, where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts originally, yeah.
All right.
And now I live here.
Rock and roll, Massachusetts.
Rock and roll, Massachusetts.
Okay, this is cool.
So we are now practically looking over the edge of El Capitan. It's scary up here.
I forgot that this jacket maybe not is waterproof. It's actually a snow. It's a snow skiing jacket. So I'm already soaked. Okay, Mother Nature's telling us to get out of here.